What up, though? What up, Sean? What's good, brother? Up in here early. Man, there was like some YouTube technical difficulties or something. Like, I tried to hop up on this, man, for like an hour or so, dude. But for some reason, YouTube was just down. But it is what it is. We here. We about to get it in. And as usual, we going to talk about something before we jump into the topics of what's happening in the music industry. And, the thing that I want to talk about here is going to touch on what's going on in the music industry. But today, I want to talk about how your enemies are the ones that come to you with smiles. Those are the most deadly ones of them all. Because there's a reason why many people will become friends with their enemies or would rather be around their enemies than around actual friends and such, because your enemies who come out and say that they want to harm you, they will go against you and all that, you know exactly what to expect from these people. You feel me? You know when they pop up, then you need to square up. You need to have your squad. You need to be able to protect yourself. You know what to expect from them. But yet, it's the people that come to you with smiles that when you let your defenses down, they're the ones who stab you in the back and they hurt you the most. It's a lot like a bunch of mafia movies. I'm a big mafia movie fan and such, dude. But it's always the one that's close to the people that allow them to be weakened. Like one of my favorite movies was Carlito's Way. Love that movie. And we all know how it is an old movie, so I don't feel as though it's spoilers. But at the very end, if it wasn't for Pachanga, his right hand man, who was looking out for him allegedly the whole way, but he was ultimately just trying to use Carlito. If it wasn't for Pachanga, Carlito would have made it out alive. But it's always the people that's close to you that's going to set you up. And your enemies may be your best friends. Like, look at the music industry as we see it. Like, one of the bigger rivalries that's happening right now is Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Cardi B is taking off her shoe and throwing it out at the Met Gala, and they beefing all over social media and all of this stuff. But in reality, there's nothing Cardi B can do to actually get to Nicki Minaj because she is a known rival now. So everywhere, whether it's the BET Awards, whether it's the whatever shows they do, they know to try to keep these two apart. And they know if they get close, then something can happen. So all precautions are being taken. So there's no way Nicki and Cardi will ever fight. Like never like in a fist fight and really scrap each other out and all of that stuff. It'll never happen. And because Cardi has been overtly an enemy, Nicki knows, okay, I can trust her to not like me. Like she can trust Cardi B to a degree that whenever anything happens, Cardi's going to jump on it to be like her overt rivalry. Nicki plus Cardi and Wrestle. Hey, rap game is all but WrestleMania and WWE anyway. But what's up, Josh? What's good with you, bro? But do you feel me? Your worst enemies are sometimes your best friends because you know what to expect from them. You know that they don't like you. You know that they're going to try to square up and fight with you when you see them. When it's on site, it is what it is. It becomes a mutual respect. It becomes, yo, you will, you coming at me. We just going to set this to the side, man, because I can trust you to just not like me. But all these people that's around me that like me allegedly, what if they don't? I open myself up all the time. You's a petty dude, Sean. You petty as ever, but I love it. But we're gonna touch more on that because there's more like the main story of today is going to revolve around your enemies coming to you with a smile. But yet, before we get to that, there's a bunch of other things I want to touch about. I want to touch on, man. Like, did you guys see that Pusha T had an interview where Pusha T goes in on uh, the new wave of people releasing extended albums in which the albums be about 24, 25 tracks, and you can look at a good selection of people who've done that, from Drake to a lot of these young people and stuff, man, that's dropping a bunch of 25 track projects. And the way that Pusha T broke it down is like they're doing this so that they can quote unquote cheat. In which, what are the rules of this rap game? You feel me? There are no rules. You get it how you live, and you try to succeed by doing it. But yet, Pusha T feels as though it's cheating that these people make extended albums like this so that they can get more streams off of Spotify and Apple Music and all of this, man, to boost up the numbers so they can rise within the Billboard chart. Which that may have some truth to it. Let's not deny the fact that streams do count towards album sales. But yet, the way that it works is you need 1,500 streams to get one equivalency album sale. So Push is on to something there. Like, the more songs that you have, the longest songs, the more you may get paid. And the way Push put it is like, he's a rebel, him and Kanye West. Like, they decided specifically to do 7-track projects, like all through the surgical summer of what you want to call it. They specifically did 7-track projects because they wanted to rebel against this whole wave of doing that. And I mean, it is what it is. But my thing is, man, you got to do what you got to do to succeed out of here, dude. Like, how is it considered cheating if you're taking advantage of where the music industry is going? Like, what exactly is cheating in the music industry? Like, this is a real question. Do any of you guys know? Like, for a while, people have been like, oh, if you get ghostwriting, then you cheat in the game. But ghostwriting has been in existence well before rap. Like, R&B, like top R&B acts like Temptations and all of that, well known for having ghostwriters. In fact, they wasn't even ghostwriters. Their names were in the actual descriptions. Like, people have been writing songs forever, and it opens up opportunities for everyone. Less is more at times, but take advantage. What up, Mad Ink? But real spit, what is cheating? Like, if cheating is you taking advantage so that you can feed your family, I cheat every time. If you're an MC, you're cheating with ghostwriters. But I mean, cheating, okay. So you're cheating. You're cheating if you got ghostwriters. What are your penalties of being a cheat then? Your penalty is you're getting more money because you're making better songs. Like, cheating usually comes with consequences. Like, if you renege in spades, then people gonna take your books. But if you getting ghostwriting in the rap game and people are buying your records because of such, how is this like you're putting like your pride of being a writer yourself? What up, Cedric? I didn't watch the awards show, man. Like, I'm gonna go back and try to watch this. Damn, you said the ciphers were trash. That's the only thing that I kind of wanted to go back and watch. But I'm not big in the awards, man. Like, the awards, bro. For years I've been saying it. Like, I'd rather work to get to that point where I can attend these award shows and win my awards than sit up and watch these uber successful people just shine. You feel me? Like, watching these people shine really does nothing for me. There's no rule against ghostwriting in music, so it's not cheating. Facts. Like there's no rules at all in the music industry, dude. You got to get it how you live. The only rule is you better sell. If you're not selling records, you're going to fall off. So you use whatever tool you got at your disposal to sell so you won't be out. You feel me? Like you could write all of your lyrics that you ever wanted, bruh. But when they stop buying them, like all of that, I stayed true to the game. I always wrote my lyrics. What all does that actually mean? Some of the best battle rappers of all time make trash music. The only exception is M. Sidebar Kamikaze was whack. Ah, Kamikaze wasn't as bad as the last two M albums. It was actually Kamikaze wasn't a bad album. You feel me? It just wasn't a great M album, and we're never going to get another great M album. There's better, there's battle rappers. That's a different lane. Yes, it is, but the has gotten to a point where battle rappers have learned to like the battle rappers of this generation create great mixtapes, create great projects too. Like previous generations, battle rappers was just known for just let me just spit these battle raps against people and battle people. But now they can make dope songs. Like uh one of my there's a guy named Marvelous. He runs with a dude named Jim Star, the Golden Child. One of them two. Like they're a team, but yet they dropped like one of the craziest mixtapes there was, and like I guess things didn't pop off for them as artists yet. So therefore, they decided to try their luck at the battle rap, and they one of whichever one it is doing his thing in the battle rap right now. I'm not really huge on battle rap, but yet from what I be seeing, he be doing pretty decent. So the battle rap scene has evolved to making good music. Uh, but real talk, man. To sum it up, there ain't no cheating in this game. Like the people who hold on to that prideful, like, oh man, you cheating. I'm always doing this and this and this. Those are the people that's washed up, who's trying to hold on to something so that they can somehow regain or get back to who they once was. You feel me? Instead of evolving with the game and just going along with the flow and trying to find their own success, they're trying to find some kind of moral victory. There ain't no moral victories in this game. Either you succeeding or you not. Those are the rules. Now, if you succeeding based off of you just writing your own stuff, then hey, you doing the thing, bro. Good job. But if you succeeding off the strength of paying somebody to ghostwrite for you, you doing your thing too. Mm. But since we're talking about Pusha T, let's talk about Kanye West. Well, Kanye, he's been on that nonsense for a minute to the point that Charlemagne canceled they had like a town hall meeting where they was going to talk about mental health, and Charlemagne's like, man, he's just way too far gone. Well, he didn't say that. He pretty much just said it would be a distraction, and it really ain't gonna be genuine like it should be because of the recent antics that Kanye's been doing. But yet Kanye did try to do something interesting that shows you the mindset of what's going on out here. Like, did you guys hear that Kanye went to Sony and I think the ATV, Sony slash ATV. These are the people who own pretty much the vast majority of all publishing in the music industry. Now that now that Michael Jackson was killed off and the family, well, whoever owned the estate or whatever, sold back or let them get back the publishing, which is all suspicious in my eyes. I know somebody killed off Mike so that they can get this. But Sony ATV, they got all of the publishing pretty much of the music industry for like 90%, probably. That's a pretty good estimate. But so Kanye West goes to Sony ATV, like, I see that you got my publishing and it's worth $8 to $9 million to you. Let me go ahead and cut you this check because I got $8 to $9 million. Let me get my publishing back. Sony ATV says, nah. Like, yeah, it's worth that amount of money, but we keeping this publishing though, Negro. Get back to jucking and jiving. Get back to tap dancing for Trump. This is all publishing. What are you going to do about it? That's what they do. And Kanye West is going to turn and say, you know, I ain't Prince, man. So I'm not going to put it on my face. But this is all just an element of control. So now you want to talk about slavery? When you the one who's talking, let's abolish the amendment that abolished slavery, you now are gonna try to sound like you're gonna come to the defense of artists using slavery moniker. Like, well, miss me, Kanye. Miss me all the way, you clown. Like everything that he does, it's hilarious. You feel me? It's really just straight up hilarious. Oh, and then on top of that, I mean, since I talked a little bit about Prince. Like, did you guys see that Prince is estate contacted Trump? Like, you're going to stop playing Purple Rain at all of your rallies and stuff, which I feel them. Like, but real talk. First of all, they should have never allowed all of the music and stuff to go back to the record labels that he put slave on his face to protest. That these people should have never have done that to begin with. But by them doing that, it opens up the door for these. It opens up the door for people like Trump to be able to use your music for the rallies and stuff. Like it's really your fault. But now you want to come back and be like, yo, you can't, don't do that. You can't play our music while like we don't believe in what you believe in, Trump. But y'all opened up the door by being greedy. Y'all should have stayed true to Prince's wishes and never allowed that to happen. But I feel him though, because F Trump on the real. Like, forget all of that nonsense. Like, he shouldn't be playing the legend Prince's music ever. Like, I catch mad offense to that, but I recognize y'all greed is the thing that allowed this to happen. Mad Ink saying, yep, publishing is an asset. It's going to grow like a stock. They're not returning that. Kind of reminds me of Diddy returning the Lux publishing. But that was because they were crying and it wasn't worth much. True. True. Like publishing, there's a reason why they say you never give it up. And there's a reason why record labels, that's what they take in as soon as you sign the first record deal that you do. Do artists have to have publishing to be successful? Nah. I mean, first you gotta understand what success, like, first you gotta understand and question yourself, what is success? Is success gaining the notoriety of being able to do shows? Because if that was true, if that's what you deem success to being, no, you don't need publishing. But as Mad Ink is saying, long term, yes. Like because there's going to come a time, it doesn't matter who you are, even Jay-Z's album sales is slipping for what they are right now. He ain't like going platinum every time like he used to. The publishing is what's going to keep you afloat, because publishing money doesn't go away. It continues to build for most artists that have great music that people are still playing over the times. You feel me? Like, people still play Reasonable Doubt on things like Spotify, on Apple Music. Like, did you guys see that J. Cole's first album disappeared on Apple Music, and fans picked up on it immediately, and they were mad about it, and they were sending angry letters and stuff. They still listening to J. Cole's first album, and by them listening to it, it's getting money. Now, if you don't have your publishing, you're not getting any of this money that people are listening to your stuff 10 years later, making it very important that you have that if your career has slowed up and you're not making those sales like that no more. Like, if you don't have your publishing, you better have alternate forms of income when you get older in this game. Like, you better have like multiple businesses like clothing and alcohol and all of that that's successful if you don't have the publishing in the music, because eventually the music will move on. It's been proven. True. Like, because Jay-Z got his own like Tidal is Jay-Z's. So it would only make sense that Jay-Z's catalog would only be on Tidal, because he's in complete control of his publishing that goes through that now. He can pay, he cuts himself a check based off of what he does. And I mean, it's not, see, these streaming services are not publishers though, but yet the numbers go to the publishers, who are the people who cut the checks to whoever owns the publishing. Ghostwriters, co-writers eat long term. I wouldn't say ghostwriters eat long term, bro, because you got to have your name on the track to get the credit. You feel me? Like, ghostwriters get paid up front for what they do, and wherever it goes from there, it's not on them. You feel me? Like, that's part of the ghostwriting game. You're a ghost. Nobody's supposed to see you. Nobody's supposed to know what it is you make. Nobody's supposed to know what it is you were a part of. So therefore, when those royalty checks come years later, who knows how to get it to you if you want a part of it. So, like, it's pretty much just negotiated, like, ghostwriters depending on your level. Like, a new age ghostwriter, at least this was like, when was this? This had to be like 2006, 2007. I think the actual money that they paid for ghostwriters out the gate was like 10,000. But yet, the more notable you become of being a ghostwriter, the more you can demand. Now, my question is, Mad Ink, my bad, is the people who did Top Billing and So Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back, are they on the track listing? Are they in the paper? Like, you got to see the track listing in the on the uh on the actual when you buy the album, on the album covers and stuff. They will tell you who's the writers, who's the producers. They'll tell you who owns the rights to the songs and stuff, who participated, what samples and all of that. If your name is in there, you're going to get royalties. If your name is not in there, you're not going to get royalties unless the people you negotiated with will give it to you because they have some kind of friendship with you, or they're stupid. But for the most part, being a ghostwriter means your name is not in that. So you don't get the publishing. Yes, if you're in the credits, you get it. You get it. Yeah, absolutely. But yet, go being a quote unquote ghostwriter, your name is not in the credits. That's like mandatory if you're a ghostwriter because you gotta keep it a secret that you wrote it. While writers, even like for that Usher album, for the Usher album, Future wrote some of the songs off the Usher album. You know this based off of how Usher was saying particular words and all that. Like Future has his own brand of how he writes. So it's kind of obvious. But yet, when you look at the credits, Future's name is in the credits of that Usher album. So therefore, he's not a ghostwriter, he's just a writer. So he's going to get royalties off of that depending on what happens. But a ghostwriter, like say quote unquote Gilly the Kid for Lil Wayne's Dakota One, where people were heavily disputing of this. Like a lot of people don't believe that Gilly the Kid wrote a bunch of Dakota One, even though Wayne is spitting just like Gilly was spitting back in the day. It becomes somewhat obvious, but yet Gilly's name isn't in the vast majority of those songs. You've ghost wrote articles for people. Now, so other people's name is on top of your articles and they paid you to do that. But yet, I'm sure, depending on how I'm sure those articles, if they were to go viral or something like that, they wouldn't be letting you get in on any of that AdSense. I'm all but positive they won't let you get none of that AdSense. They feel as though they paid you for a service and you delivered on the service and you did so well that they're getting much more money, so they'll come back to you. That's all that ghostwriting is. Uh, but another thing I want to talk about. Did you guys see the Ti like little teaser video that he did, where he's in like the White House Oval Office and he got like a fake Melania come in, do like the strip tease and all that, wearing the whole jacket that she had and such, man. That is hilarious. And I love it. And I love how he debuted it too on Twitter. Said, Dear 45, I'm not Kanye. T.I. is the great. Like T.I. gets props, like T.I. is a legend, but that took him to another level. Oh, oh. And did you see that Melania is sitting up there saying, "How is this acceptable? We need to boycott Ti." Like y'all really listen to Ti, one and two. Haven't we seen you naked already? Like, how is this going outside of who you actually are? Like, oh yeah. Oh well, her representative. It wasn't directly from Melania. It was her representative that came out and asked, "How is this acceptable?" And it's perfectly acceptable. Like they opened up the door for it. So you can't be mad when you out there with butt naked pictures and all of that, and you the first lady known of, like, it's not going to be forgotten. One and two, when you bring in a guy like Kanye West, and it wasn't even on Melania that you know Kanye West came in and did the juck and jive with Donald Trump and tap dance for him and hugged him like a straight up slave. I know it wasn't on her, but yet she got to hold that L because if you're gonna go below the belt and hit hip hop and use Kanye in this manner and make all of hip hop look bad, then hip hop has the right to snap back on you, bruh. Like you can't dictate the terms of the clapback. Like it's a lot like when when Drake dissed Pusha T. When Drake dissed Pusha T, he knew that Pusha T was going to come back. There was nothing that Drake could do for how low Pusha T went. In fact, uh, Drake talked about it in the interview that he had with LeBron and all of that stuff. He said specifically, like, I feel as though that track was trash, but yet it was genius though, because he's just, even though he can't compete, he's just gonna go as low as he possibly can so that I can have a chink in my armor forever. And I'm okay with that. But that's just the real talk. He had to accept it. He couldn't dictate the terms that Pusha T was gonna clap back at him. Snap back like a dollar store condom. Oh, but that's the main thing I wanted to talk about the whole your enemies come at you with smiles, because I'm sure you guys have seen the little interview that Drake had on LeBron's show, the barbershop or whatever, where they just sitting up in like a barbershop, just having barbershop talk and all of that. And Drake was on there talking about his quote unquote beef with Pusha T and all of this stuff. But what he broke down was his issue that he has with Kanye, on why he knows that it's Kanye that sold him out to Pusha T, and everything about it from the beginning to end, it was all Kanye being a backstabber, coming at him with a smile, trying to get information, and then using it all against him. Because the way that he broke it down was like, you know, Kanye was talking. He's not about to be dropping no albums no time soon and all that. He's trying to position himself like a Quincy Jones. And by doing that, he wants to help out all of these artists out here to succeed. he wants to help everybody succeed or whatever. So, but in order for Kanye to help Kanye, but in order for Kanye to help Drake, Drake had to give him information about the plans that Drake had. You feel me? And Drake saying, well, we was having good conversation. So he opened himself up to him like, okay, my album that I've been working on, I'm about to drop it on June 11th. And, I'm having trouble with my baby moms. Let me go ahead and play you this track that I got. Let me go ahead and play this track that I got that I'm dedicating to my son and all of that stuff that I'm going to have on my track. And Kanye sat up and listened to it. He all smiled and all of this stuff for him. And then after all this shit was done, all he did was give him a beat for that whack ass beat. I forget the name of the song, but I wasn't feeling it at all. All he did was give him that and say, we're going to work together later. But then shortly after, Kanye had a whole lineup of albums to go around Drake's album. Like I didn't realize that the whole Surgical Summer thing was lined up week after week after week after week leading up to Drake's album. And then there was week after week after week of more Kanye projects. And then after a while, it just stopped. Like in retrospect, you realize that was designed. If Drake told him when he was going to drop the album, and he decided to put all of his albums right at that moment to compete with him. Facts, Joshua. That was all a troll with Lift Yourself. That Lift Yourself beat was trash. The whole song was weak. And he did it specifically so that he can have something to give Drake. But to secretly be making these albums and not tell Drake, Like Drake had no idea that he was going to do this, but yet Kanye was the one telling him, like, yeah, I want to help you out though. I want to do anything I can do for you. So therefore, you need to tell me when you dropping your album. Like, this is how your enemies come to you with smiles so that they can set you up for the fall, so that they can go ahead and lift themselves up. Because who would actually succeed the most, especially at that point in time? You feel me? If Drake falls off completely, who gets all of the sales from that whole point in time? It would be Kanye and Good Music. Kanye used what positive relationship that he had at the time and spun it completely around and used it completely against Drake, bro. And on top of it, he had Drake writing for his album and all of that stuff too. I'm like, that was savage on some. That's what these music executives, like these white music executives and stuff, will do to black artists and such. Like, they'll use you up for every dollar, then turn against you at a drop of a hat so they can take advantage of your complete pitfall. And that's something I do not respect at all. And Kanye might look at it like he's just being business savvy and all of this stuff, man. But nah, that's betrayal on its highest level, regardless of if he's your enemy or not. Like, I don't know if I would do that to an enemy of mine. Like, I would be more of the open enemy to tell you, yo, I don't rock with you, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to go against you. I'm not gonna creep up on you with a smile, like, yeah, man, you know, me and you, we always been friends, man. We always have done right by each other and such. So let me go ahead, get close to you so I can stab you in the back and try to take your place. I could personally never do that. It's actually something that my uncle was here the other day, and we started talking about it. Like, he was doing his thing back in the day, and he was young, and he was having a whole bunch of chicks and all of this stuff, man. And there'd be a bunch of older dudes that would get jealous of the fact that he was bagging like the chicks. Like, he was like 17, 18 at the time, getting chicks like 24, 25, who these other dudes was like paying a whole bunch of money on and stuff. And see, my uncle, like, my first gut instinct was, okay, if these people would be hating on me like they was hating on you over these women, then I would straight up confront them and be like, all right, man, you want to scrap? I'm not going to scrap about these women, but if you're going to disrespect me at all times, then we can scrap about this. But the way my uncle played is like, okay, you want to be mad at me for getting your types of women? Like, I'm going to specifically target every woman that y'all got. And I'm going to live lavishly in all of the cribs and stuff that you paying for these chicks and all of this. That's how he played it. And that's somewhat how I guess I'll play it now for here on out. Like, I'm not, I'm never going to betray myself to get in close with people so I can stab them in the back. I'll just outplay you at the game that you think that you better than me at. And that's what I learned yesterday talking to my uncle. Uh, but Sean saying that Drake is weak for playing the victim on the shop. I don't think I don't think he was necessarily playing the quote unquote victim. Like, I don't think, and yes, it would be weak if he did that. I'm not denying that. But I think it was more of he just laid out the entire thing that happened. And I would feel a kind of way myself if someone who I wrote for on the album, that I felt close enough with, that I would go ahead and tell them something specific to me that I wasn't ready to release to the public yet. If somebody was to, yeah, Yeah, Mad Ink. I feel as though Drake told the story and he acknowledged that, you know, Pusha T put a chink in his armor, which he's okay with, and Kanye did some snake stuff and he'll never forgive him for it type stuff. Like it was more that it wasn't so much feel sorry for me because Kanye did something that I didn't want him to do. Uh, and speak of Kanye, oh no, I think I already talked about Charlemagne canceling the little joint because he wasn't mentally ready. I think I already talked about that. Uh, but let's talk about some other stuff that's not somewhat related, like how did you guys see that 50 Cent signed a new deal with Stars, in which 50 is saying that it's valued up to $150 million, but you know 50 loves to exaggerate. You got to take it with a grain of salt. You really can't. It may mean up to 150 million if these upcoming shows that he got for this deal is going to reach the levels that Power has reached. Well, Power is still one of the most dominant TV shows on it, so he's deserving of the deal that he got. Mad props to 50, but it's like a and he's still trolling at the net. 50 is going to die a troll, bruh. On the real, it's how he came into the game. It's how he's going to lead the game. It is what it is. But the deal that he signed is a 3 series deal that's including the new couple seasons. I think it maybe just be one, maybe 2 seasons of Power, but then he got the BMF show that's going to be on Stars, which that I'm hoping he does as good of a job as he's doing with Power, because BMF, that could be a great TV show. That could be amazing, bruh. Like BMF was really out here doing it on the highest level possible, on some on some borderline like crazy stuff, like how they would get Ferraris and put the dope in the Ferraris. And if they were to get pulled over and they go ahead and take the Ferraris, they buy up the Ferraris again out of police auction and chop them up to get the dope out of it because they didn't know it was in there. Like, why would you do that in a Ferrari? Like, you could do that with a Winnebago, bruh. But it is what it is. But on top of that, the other show that he's working on is called Vanguard, where Vanguard is about a Navy SEAL or something like that that's coming home from a war, and he has to protect his family from a Mexican cartel or something. So, I mean, that doesn't sound very entertaining. That sounds like something WWE would do on the real. Like, doesn't that sound like something starring John Cena? But I mean, I'll give 50 a benefit of a doubt. Maybe he could make it happen, depending. But I'm not interested. You think they really killed Angela on Power? Nah. I mean, she might have only like 1 or 2 episodes in the next season, but she'll be in that joint. We're going to see her die. We're going to see her struggle. She's going to be in the second season in the beginning at least, but I think eventually somebody has to die, don't you think? Like of the main crew, like the show has been going on for like like the next season is what, season 5, and you haven't really got a major death outside of 50. 50 died. That is right. That was maybe the biggest, most shocking death of them all so far. But yet, I think it's time for them to start killing off some of these main characters whose storylines haven't been amazing. And now the like Angela's whole job was done anyway. So it's time for her to die. It's just they'll probably like drag it out a bit. I've been hearing of the BMF thing 50 Cent is doing. Will it be a doc like a T? No, I think it's like an actual like TV show that it's going. I believe now. Don't quote like because nobody has seen it yet. Nobody knows exactly how 50 is going about it, but yet the word about it is that it's going to be like how Snowfall is, which Snowfall is supposed to be based on the life of Freeway Ricky Ross, but yet they take it and they did all kinds of licensing with it, like they doing their own thing with it. Like it's not a direct story. You feel me? And but yet a lot of it is true. The touching on a whole lot of true aspects of the life of Freeway Ricky Ross, on how he lived in the hood right there by the freeway, on how he wasn't the one who brought crack down from Oakland, but yet he was involved in that. Like really, the true story of it is Freeway Ricky Ross's plug before he got plugged in with the government. They they went out to Oakland and brought crack back to LA. And Freeway Rick Ross is the one who took the crack and applied it to the gangs. And from the gangs, and then got plugged in through the government after his plug went away. Or I don't know what happened to his plug, but he got plugged in with the gangs and got plugged in with the government without knowing it was the government at the time. And then he went like US wide. What up, H Bizzle? Sidebar. I just watched the BET 2018 Hip Hop Awards, and I must say, wow, I'm getting old. I didn't even know half the rappers. I wish they showed more respect to J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, J. Rock. Uh, it's a young man's game, bro. You got to stay up on the young people if you're going to sit up and watch the awards. They specifically go to the next generation quickly. And I mean, they show much respect to Kendrick. Like they don't show none of these award shows really show that much love to Cole or to J Rock. But Kendrick gets his love. But at the end of the day, man, if you ain't focusing in on the youth, then the mainstream music industry ain't really for you. Uh, a few other things that happened out there that was, well, one thing that was kind of funny. Did you guys hear about Joe Budden, quote unquote, running away because Offset Solomon Barney's or whatever? And Joe Budden's description of why he was running is so stupid that maybe it's believable. Like who would come up with that kind of lie? Well, what he's saying is, yo, I was in Barney's, and Barney's, the bathroom is on the second floor. So I had to go to the bathroom really bad. I didn't even see Offset. I was running to the bathroom. That's so stupid for him. Like I give Joe Budden a certain amount of respect when it comes to the things that he say, because at times he think things out. He think things through. He actually comes back and say some pretty interesting things. So I respect him enough to not make up something that stupid. You feel me? But let's not deny that it still is possible that he saw Offset and just started taking off running. And the best excuse that he could come up with is he had to go to the bathroom. I mean, it's so stupid, the whole thing, that I kind of believe Joe Budden. And then on top of it, he's saying, why am I beefing with Offset right now? Like over Cody when I love Cody? Like I believe I'm gonna give Joe Budden the benefit of a doubt here, but this might be the last time I give him a benefit of a doubt because he does some stupid stuff, and that could have played into that. He could literally still be afraid of the Migos for how they rose up on him at the award show. And he instantly started jumping into Cop and Please. Hey man, say what you will about the Migos. They'll rise up on anybody and fight anybody, bruh. I wouldn't say you should be afraid of them, but yet the Migos, they really be about this, bruh. Like you really can't deny them. Like all the time when you just watch the news, they just randomly be getting in fights in places. What up, Isaiah? And yeah, I mean, it wasn't all I'm saying. Like there was a moment where uh Offset said on social media that he saw Joe Button at the mall, or it wasn't a mall, it was Barney's, which is a clothing shop or whatever. He saw Joe Button and Joe Button started running away. That's what Offset said. While Joe Button says that he had to go to the bathroom and he didn't even see Offset. And who do you believe at this point? I'm at the point where I'm like, Joe Button, I respect him enough that he wouldn't say something that stupid because he should know how stupid that sounds and how much of him copying please that seems to be. But it is what it is. Uh, Another thing that happened. Uh, uh, is Joe not afraid of Offset though? Because you remember when the Migos rose up on him in at the award show, whenever he instantly put his hands up like ho 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 ho. What y'all mad that I just disrespected y'all like I just disrespected y'all? Like I didn't mean it like that. Like that's somewhat of a fearful thing to do. Like somebody who's not afraid of the Migos, when they rise up on you, then you want to square up. You ain't gonna cop please with the hand. Hey, hold up. Oh, like I mean, but real talk, nobody wants to get jumped. Oh, but yet, if you go on try them, like you gotta know there's consequences to trying these dudes. Like they've been in the news consistently of just fighting people in Atlanta while known. They've done some crazy stuff. Like, like I mean, even the things that they didn't even like it wasn't even no ignorant stuff or anything like that. Even they be in the news for doing all of this other stuff, and it'd be like extra. It'd be super extra, like how whichever one it was that got into the car accident because some crackhead jumped in the road. Like that's like some crazy stuff you don't really see rappers happen to rappers and stuff. Just like how the Migos went to the middle school with a check, a big check to give to the school, and it was only like $1,500. Oh, like just crazy. These dudes do like some crazy stuff on top of just randomly fighting and having beefs with people in Atlanta that's not even on the popularity level. See, man, you remember that check? That like these dudes do like super extra stupid stuff. Like like you really don't want to fight dudes like this. You feel me? Like you never know what they gonna do. Like they might beat you up with a check worth $500, a big ass check worth $500, and beat you up with it. I don't know what you can never predict what the Migos is going to do. So therefore, you don't want to try these types of dudes. They're young. They do stupid stuff at all times because they're young. So nothing is off the table. There's nothing. There's no holds unbarred when you're dealing with these dudes. When they rise up on you, they'll jump you in front of all of the BET cameras and they'll film it and use it for their reputation. But sidebar, Joe Budden's number sides to the story is classic. But yeah, overall, let these young dudes eat. Yeah, facts. Let the young dudes eat. Let them have the BET awards. Let them have the hip hop awards. Let them do everything. Like, so Lil Wayne was like, Lil Wayne was headlining the BET Hip Hop Awards, right? Like, did he do like a bunch of the Carter Five, or did he do like the classic songs? Like, I would definitely like to know, like, what songs did Wayne do? For those of you who watched it, and I would like to know if it was a good performance because it could go either way with Wayne. What? Wayne didn't do no performance, bruh. All right. Okay. I mean, if his speech was good, I'll rock with it. But y'all saw the commercials though. Y'all saw the commercials where they showed Lil Wayne on stage. You feel me? Now, definitely an old performance, but they alluded to the fact that Wayne would perform. And that's why I'd be like, fuck these award shows, bruh. Come on, man. That was one of the more things that I was hyped for outside of uh the ciphers. But y'all telling me that the ciphers was whack. Next door, 21 Savage pull up to Joe Budden when he's making fun of the slut walk moment. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Like, why does BET have two award shows? I understand. Like hip hop, I think hip hop definitely deserves its own recognition and all of that. But yeah, BET is not the ones to do it because they're gonna take it and make it into the most ratchet nonsense that there can possibly be. Not all the hip hop is ratchet, bruh. They didn't like if you gonna do the hip hop awards, it needs to be it should be just as classy as the big time fucking award shows. You feel me? Like here's the real shit though, bro. Like, have you guys ever watched like the porn awards? That sometimes they'll show it on Showtime or some shit, like where they giving out awards to the porn stars and all of that. And the porn stars come dressed way more classy than anybody who shows up to the BET awards, bro. And that's a goddamn shame. And that's why I don't really fuck with BET and they trying to make the award shows as ratchet as humanly possible. Like real shit, Sean. Like the porn stars come in like legitimate like dresses like you would wear at like the Oscars or something. Wow, you go to the hip hop award show, all of them got like their titties and asses out and all of this stuff, dude. Like, why is it everything geared towards hip hop has to be taken to the ratchet left, bro? Yeah, the AVN awards. Ah. They need to stop handing awards to people who never show up, like Beyonce, Jay, Drake. They always win but never show up. Like, I mean, why should they show up to the ratchet ass hip hop awards? You feel me? Like, if if the whole hip hop awards feels like an after party where somebody is going to bust off a shot and people going to fight, why should the top name people that got dignity actually show up to it? But I will tell you that Jay Z in particular, they Jay-Z and Beyonce at times, I believe they have boycotted the Grammys a couple times. But I really just don't rock with these award shows on just on the fact that they don't ever give the awards to people who are deserving of the quality music. It's all based upon who this select group people, whoever they're paying off, that's who they give the awards and stuff to. And that goes from the BET Awards, that goes to which the BET Awards and all that, they getting paid off by record labels, to the Oscars, where the Oscars, they all of the people who make movies, they're pretty much paying this select group to look at them, to give them awards or nominate them and all of that stuff, man. Like, it's not about the art craft, it's more about just the show. BET Hip Hop Awards never showed the Million Man March in 2000. Yep, something positive, but they want to complain. Why? Facts, Isaiah. That's facts. And I mean, could it be because Viacom owns BET and they don't want to be they don't want it to become the actual true black foundation. They all black media, quote unquote media as you see it now, is pretty much dominated by white people and dominated and owned by white people, but they keep a black face on it. BET is owned by Viacom. Viacom owns MTV. Viacom owns a bunch of other stuff too. So they're never going to do anything black empowerment related, especially at least not until it's co-signed by whites by white society that you can go ahead and do this. Just like how white society took a complete crap on on the movie where uh it was about the slave revolt, and they pulled up like some rape history of the director, and he was acquitted of the rape. Like he never, yeah, Birth of a Nation. White society shit on Birth of a Nation all the way for its radical views and showing the reality of black people overcoming white society. They shitted on that because of that. But yet, Black Panther, as much as I love Black Panther, I love that movie, I love Marvel movies, but yet white society gave the cosign. You guys could go ahead and watch Black Panther because there's not that much going directly against white society here. You can enjoy this fantasy. Go ahead, black people, enjoy that. And based off of that, it blew up. Yep. BET didn't even vote and invite the director of the award show to promote The Birth of a Nation, which is a black movie for black empowerment for black people that should be promoted on black entertainment television. But obviously, black entertainment television isn't for black people. And what else? News One also has like quote unquote black people trying to tell black news and all that, but they just as bad. There's no mainstream, true to the earth black media. Now, what we have is the underground black movements that's happening everywhere. You feel me? Like there's people out there that's doing a lot of great, powerful work that the white society will never get behind. Like my favorite author, I talk about him a lot, Tariq Nasheed. He got a series called Hidden Colors, where he got like 5 movies in the he working on the 5th, and it's the final Hidden Colors. Where this is the most successful documentary, like probably series ever type stuff. But most people don't hear about it because white society ain't going to back it. But yet he's doing enough work to do it on his own that he can show it nationwide in a bunch of different cities and sell out all of the time. And the show is like pretty much he builds it off of the money that his audience donates to it and the money that he puts in. And this is like the true black media that we have at the grassroots. So you have to begin to pay attention to the grassroots more than anything in the mainstream, because the mainstream, all of it is owned by the people that's against us. That's why you need to listen to underground rappers. I know it's frustrating. There's a lot of garbage underground rappers out there, but guys like me can help you find the good underground rappers so that you can get out the cycle of only dealing with these weak rappers that's putting out the same message that all of these major record labels are putting out there. Said I stopped watching the game. I watched BET after they put Brandy on the game. I feel you. Like I haven't. I recently watched some BET, and it was because we played Harlem Nights. That's the only reason why I watch BET these days. If they showing Harlem Nights or they showing like Martin, some of the old classics and stuff like that, I'll sit up and watch that. But nothing of the original programming will I ever watch. I'd rather watch these white stations that actually put cutting edge black stuff on, like FX. FX put on Atlanta, in which FX is not a white station, but yet Atlanta is like one of the greatest like black TV shows out there right now. Maybe it may go down in history as one of the greatest black TV shows ever, just based off the fact that Donald Glover is doing his thing right now, bro. But this is a white station that's just respecting the talent and paying that man his money. I'll respect them far more than I'll ever respect BET. I mean, Tariq is that dude, but he has been on mainstream media. He's done interviews on Fox News, and they always try to get him to like they always try to get him so they can try to debunk him with some nonsense, and he just crushes these motherfuckers alive. Like it's hilarious how he does it. And then he breaks down his whole philosophies on how he goes into his like when he's debating these white people and stuff where they trying to pull a whole bunch of nonsense. He goes into it like a rap battler goes into a rap battle. He got his own strategy. He uses the words against them. He eats them all the way up. And then when he eats them up, all of the white supremacists that be on YouTube, as you know, there's a lot of them, like all of the people in the comment sections and stuff, they be mad. But he eats them up like a freestyle battle rapper, bro. Eats them up like B Dot. And B Dot is one of my favorite battle rappers. That's how he does. But yet Tariq does it like real slick though. Like he backs you into a corner till you say something stupid and then hits you with the facts. Like there was one interview that he had with one of them white chicks where she's supposed to be the intelligent Fox News anchor and all of that. And she was trying to paint Tariq in the corner, trying to make him bring up black people should get reparations. Like she wanted him to say that. Like she kept setting him up for that. And he was able to read it every time she brings it up that's where she wanted him to go. And instead of going in that direction, he just kept it general. It was like, well, I feel as though the dominant society has some amount of resources that those resources got misplaced with individuals, and it needs to be replaced and reserviced to the people who are in need, keeping it real PG. But then, like, she lost her patience and just went all the way in saying, but Why is it that you people always want to have reparations sent to you? Like, oh, I ain't never said that us people. Like, what do you mean by you people? Like, you see, like he set them up so that she could say something stupid and then took full advantage and ran it down into the ground. Like, that's why I love Tariq Nasheed. He thinks on a whole nother level. He's a battle rapper when it comes to debating. And he hits you with the facts. He got the true facts lined up that you can look up in the books. Like, that's why I rocks with him. Uh but another thing I wanted to talk about. Uh, did you guys see the guy who orchestrated the shootings that happened here in Charlotte against Young Dolph, where they pretty much shot up his whole car at CIAA like years ago, which CIAA is Center City, Charlotte, North Carolina, where in the midst of CIAA, the whole city is packed. Now, Young Dolph, they shot off so many shots or whatever, and they couldn't even kill him. But so the guy who put that into play, at least the guy who's taking credit for it, is Yo Gotti's road manager slash vice president. Yeah, Isaiah, he eat him up like loaded Lux. But it's Yo Gotti's vice president. What's his name? I think his name is Keon. He's taking full responsibility and he's going to jail for like 14 years for it. Now, there's no way you can tell me Yo Gotti didn't sign off here. If he's taking 14 years and it all came back to Yo Gotti, how could you say it was all about Yo Gotti, but yet Yo Gotti didn't have any say so in putting ahead the hit that they tried to do on this dude in the middle of a major city during an event where all the black people was at, where there was no way you were going to get away with this. Like, Yo Gotti probably just hit him with, "Hey man, I need you to hold this. I'm gonna take care of your family. I'm gonna let you hold these millions. I can't get jammed up about it. Just take this time, and you're gonna be good when you get out." And I mean, when you look at the court system as well, he got 14 years, but I don't think this is like it's ridiculously bad what he tried to do, but nobody died. And you know, prison populations all over the place, even here in North Carolina, is kind of stacked with good behavior. He might be out in 5. So he probably taking few million to do 5 years, maybe a little more, as long as he don't mess up and have to do his whole deal, because it doesn't sound like it's a federal thing. It is what it is. And that's something to think about. Like, would you take that charge? If Yo Gotti came to you like, "Yo, man, I got like if they gonna give you 14, but odds are my lawyer and all of this is gonna get you down to 5. I'm gonna give you this 2-3 million. Your family gonna hold this 2-3 million for 5 years of your life. Your family gonna get that money immediately." You saying you ain't gonna take that time, man? Ain't like, I mean, consider it though. Think about it. Like, do you think that you could have made 3 million in the next 5 years? Enough to like go ahead and just take that charge? Like, 3 million is a lot of money. Could be more. You don't know. Me, no. Like, nobody's gonna mess with you if like one like see the thing about jail. is if you don't like mess with people like that, then nobody's really gonna mess with you. If you don't have like from Atlanta season 2, the only reason why Franklin was getting beat up in prison and such is because he had history with this dude that he fucked over. Like if you go to jail with some people where it's like that and you got a bunch of enemies, yeah, you about to get fucked up in the game, bro. But if you go to where a bunch of people don't know you and stuff, it ain't really like that. As long as you ain't like snitch, you got your paperwork and all of that. Like people ain't really gonna be checking. Oh, oh man. And then on top of it, I mean, Yo Gotti probably knows some people up in there that you pay people to protect you in prison, bruh. Like you ever watch Animal Kingdom? I feel you on that, Josh. Now that's the thing that annoys. Like that's one thing that I could never like. I'm never gonna say never. Shit happens. You feel me? But that's something I really do not want to do. Is sit up and take orders from these bitch ass motherfuckers that ain't about shit. Ah. Nobody wants to do time or whatever, but Gotti probably got people on the inside somewhere. You feel me? Because from word on the streets is Yo Gotti was in the streets. And if you're in the streets, odds are, if you've been in it for long enough, you know somebody. Or like in Animal Kingdom, you can find somebody to pay. Like, because in Animal Kingdom, somebody went to jail. I'm not going to give no spoilers for anybody who's seen it, but yet they went and paid off like Mexican gang that had everybody up in there. They paid them every week to protect us. Damn, I might have just gave it away right there. But you can do that. These things are possibilities, especially when you got money on the level of what Yo Gotti have. But more of the story is me personally, nah, I'm not doing that time for nobody. I do that time if it's my fault and I gotta go to jail. I wouldn't put it on nobody either. On the real. Like I wouldn't unless the only way that I would be like, okay, I don't want to go to jail here for something that I did that I got caught for. The only way that I wouldn't go to jail for it is if some my people around me be like, yo, we need you out here. You're doing so well. You're helping all of us here. We'll get somebody to go to jail for you. We can't. Nobody out here can afford you going to jail. That's the only way that I would put anything that I did on somebody else. Other than that, I'd hold my L on the real. Uh, just a couple other things I want to say before we get up out of here. Uh, did you see that the Grammy Awards, they kicked off? They they made sure that Post Malone is no longer considered in the hip hop category. And the excuse that they gave for this is, well, in order to be put into the hip hop category, you have to have 50% of your album has to be rap. And I mean, hey man, the vast majority of that album is pop. Let's not deny that. It is a pop album. I don't rock with Post Malone. I could care less about the Grammy Awards anyway. But I'm kind of happy that he's not involved in rap because you already know they was gearing up to give him everything. But yet it was really the real reason why all of this happened is because everybody knew they gearing up to give Post Malone the hip hop awards and all of that, and people already speaking against it. Just like how they was itching to give Macklemore all of the awards over Kendrick Lamar, they was trying to do the same thing with Post Malone. They gonna continuously do this. This is why I don't. Again, why I do not rock with these award shows. These dudes are so full of crap, and you can tell. Post Malone is not hip hop. I know you trolling now. Like, did you see Post Malone's interviews before he went hip hop on how he's a failed rock star? And now that hip hop accepted him and propped him up so that he can be successful, he's now trying to veer more into the pop and rock realms and all of that stuff. Post Malone is far from hip hop as you possibly can. But again, I mean, he's a guest in hip hop, and a lot of people within hip hop they accept him. And a lot of people who buy albums are these white kids and stuff in suburbia. So they try to categorize him as hip hop because again, the the corporate takeover of hip hop has far been like they've been doing it. They've been wanting to do it for a long time. Going back to Bubba Sparks, who failed, going back to Vanilla Ice, who failed. But when they finally hit on Eminem, oh, okay, we can implement a bunch of white rappers within society of this hip hop society and begin to take it over from the inside. Make it so, and it's specific, like we're going to make sure that all of the new age black rappers, we're going to make sure that they do the dumbest, incoherent, mumble rap. You can't even understand what they saying. And we're going to give some actual musicianship behind a bunch of these white artists. We're going to give some musicianship behind Mac Miller. May he rest in peace. With mad respect to Mac Miller and all that. But the realities of it is Mac Miller had a step forward that a lot of the new age artists and such never had. Post Malone sucks at all the genres and the song Rockstar sucks. Yes. Honestly, I just don't I sincerely just don't like Post Malone's music. Like the whole vibe that he tries to let off, like, and it's not badly pieced together. It's not like it's not like he's the weakest caliber artist that there is. It's just it's not for me. Master P sucked, but he had his own lane and wins from it. Yeah, absolutely. Not trying to say that Master P was good, but Master P was a genius. How he marketed everything that he did, everything, how he brought himself into the game, how he declined $1 million deal and invested in himself and created movies that outsold Star Wars at all of the theaters that it was showing, and his promotion that he had in individual cities. Like he went around corporate music and corporate movies and found mass $1 million to the point that they gave him what 75 to 80% of everything that he did because he was an absolute genius at everything that he did business wise. He was a terrible musician, but that is what it is. But yet, how does this compare to Post Malone, who's not a genius at anything, but yet he gets the benefits? You feel me? Like you have to be Master P ingenious to be on an equal playing field of what these corporations will give you. Are you now here's my way to decipher that too. Like, okay, Post Malone is huge. He has his own following. But how did he get this following? Because he tried to be this rock star, quote unquote, for a while, and it never popped off. ah. But he tried to be this pop star and this rock star, and it never popped off for him. But so he transitions into hip hop, and he releases one song that White Iverson on what's it called on SoundCloud. He's a SoundCloud rapper that had one song that went completely viral, where everybody knew this, that it got all the way to the radio stations. People was playing it just off the strength. Like, who does that ever happen for? How does that happen? What other SoundCloud rapper has ever released one song that went so viral that radio stations nationwide picked up on? Like, do you feel what I'm getting at? What's Now, I mean, Phil, what song did Fetty Wap drop that all of the radio stations picked up on? Was it a Trap Queen? You thinking that's what I'm saying, Josh. He's an industry plant. Like, that kind of success doesn't happen. And I wouldn't be shocked if Fetty Wap is an industry plant too. But on the real, if it like, you know, when he dropped that White Iverson and it went viral like that, do you know the millions of people who thought at the same time, all I need to do is drop one song on SoundCloud and I'm gonna make it? That's what this shows me. Like, you know how many people believe that? But of all the millions of people dropping music, it's only happened to a few people who happen to have backing, who happen to be huge because of the backing that they had. Like, bruh, it is what it is, man. You got to see when people do miraculous stuff like that that no one else can do. You got to realize, okay, somebody is backing you. Somebody is paying for this. Like, nothing makes it on the radio without them paying for it, bruh. Nothing. I don't care how viral your joint go. It's a business. They need to get paid. All the radio stations. You going all the way back in town, bruh, with KRS-One and Run DMC. But Run DMC had Def Jam. Like, bruh, you do not ever make it to these the high levels of music without some kind of backing. And there's certain people who have come damn close on their own. Like, I always point out Nipsey Hussle, who changed the music industry from being an underground artist, who made guys like Eminem copy his formula on selling records, on how he was selling big time underground mixtapes for $100, and people was doing it. Then he upped it up to $1,000 and still sold out. He couldn't get his songs on the radio when people are buying his records at that point. You feel me? You do not make it to that level without the record labels backing you. And for them to make up some kind of erroneous story of, oh, White Iverson just blew up overnight. That's an insult to our intelligence. They're clowning you for believing in that nonsense. But yet people believe that. Uh, but that's all I really got to talk about today, brothers. And it's been an hour and a half. So y'all got any like questions before I head up out of here? White boy still looking like his real job is hunting gators. Oh, like he out there in South. like like you like somebody nobody in here watches Better Call Saul no more, because there was a moment in Better Call Saul where Saul Goodman started like impersonating a Southern preacher, and it was hilarious. And that's kind of the way you can see this dude, see Post Malone kind of being like. Uh, Pioneers are legends. I know you like Post Malone, but that's not how to win an argument by omitting facts. This is true. Hey man, like we are all biased towards our favorite artists, biased towards people that we like, but yet you can't deny the facts. You feel me? Like I said before, when I was young, I liked Silk the Shocker. I know Silk the Shocker is garbage. I didn't know quality music back then. But I can sit up and tell you, yeah, Silk the Shocker was garbage. He couldn't rap. He still can't rap. He tried to like come back, and he's still rapping the same way. Like you had all this time to actually learn how to rap, and you still rapping the same exact way that you did in the 90s. Like, I understand you like Post Malone, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Post Malone is bad. Just like it didn't take away the fact that Silk the Shocker was trash too. Mm-mm. But indeed, fellas, I'm about up out of here, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. Get y'all some sleep or something. I'm about to go watch. I'm about to go watch that. What's it called? The new episodes of Manifest. Peace. I'm about to go watch the new episodes of Manifest and the new episode of New Amsterdam, because I'm giving these shows 5 episodes to impress me. And like Manifest is, I don't know, it is starting to wear on me. I might only give it 5 episodes. While New Amsterdam is becoming a tail joker and all of this. The NBA season did come back out today, didn't it? Damn. I'm gonna try to catch a few games, man. Usually, I only watch like the NBA as it starts to gear up, like after maybe after the All-Star break and all of that stuff, because that's when players start to take it seriously. Because there's way too many games. Players don't really take, like the Warriors. You watch the NBA games in June. I respect that. That's the finals. That's all you got. But at the end of the day, I mean, the players, when they begin to realize, okay, we need to make a playoff push, we got to seriously play. Oh, it's preseason. It's still preseason. When do the regular season start? But I mean, honestly, like Christmas is when Christmas. I watch the Christmas games, and then after what is it? After March Madness or whatever, it really becomes about the NBA season. But February NBA season, like after the All-Star break, like that's when it all really heats up. But I will continue to watch it. Yeah, it does start tonight. I'm gonna follow my team though. Like my team is the Blazers, bro. And we're going to I see I love Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, that's Dame Lillard is the realest dude out there in the league right now, bro. And I mean that's I just like dudes like the West Coast dudes, like dudes from the Bay, like the whole way that they roll out in games and stuff like that, man. I just like the egos. I like how these dudes play. Don't man, Josh, don't put that on my Blazers, bro. We made it. We almost beat the Warriors one year. Oh, last year we was the we fought our way to be what, the 3 seed? No, we fought our way to be the 2 seed last year and got washed by the Pelicans. Oh, we're good. We're a good team. We just have nobody in the paint. And teams like the Pelicans body us. You feel me? Yes. Like the Pelicans, I mean, come on, bro. Uh they got the brow, man. There was nothing we could do with the brow. But we got two of the best guards in the league in McCollum and Damian Lillard. Like, if this was like the NCAA, the Blazers would have a chance because it's not so focused in the paint. You feel me? But we ball out. McCollum and Lillard, one of the best 1-2 combinations, man. Especially when it comes to scoring points in the league, bro. Like we gonna be good. Like if as long as we don't play a big man in the first round of the playoffs, we can win. As long as we don't play the Warriors, the Pelicans, like we mess around and play the Lakers. If the Lakers make it with Bron, I bet you we body them. The Blazers will body the Lakers this year. Point blank period. But I think the Lakers still have a chance of being like the 8 seed though. Like people are sleeping on the abilities of LeBron. Uh, but indeed, y'all, man, I catch y'all in a minute. Tomorrow's show gonna be tomorrow's show. I don't know what I'm gonna be reviewing. It'll be whatever just pop up. I don't think the Blazers can have. Come on, bruh. See, you gonna make me stick around and talk my shit. Like, like LeBron by himself, we would body him in Cleveland, bruh. Like it was only until that he got uh Kyrie. It was only until he got Kyrie and Love that the Blazers had troubles with him. But real talk, I mean, there's nothing we can do with LeBron per se because he's the best player in the world. But yet, as a team, we can outscore him and beat him. Like we beat LeBron consistently, just like how the Pistons back in the day when Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, when they would be the team to beat LeBron. That's how we beat LeBron. And we'll beat him like that again this year. It'll be closer. It'll be closer, but believe me, like man, we can sit up like if it ever comes on TV or something like when the Blazers play LeBron and the Lakers, it might not be on TV or nothing, man. But we could live stream this shit. I'll sit up and talk my shit the whole way, watch Dame Lillard body that nigga on the real. Dame Lillard's gonna drop like 45. McCollum's gonna drop like 30. The rest of the team, who knows who's gonna put up points? But that's all we're gonna need. Yeah, LeBron's done playing defense, bro. LeBron realized that like last year. Like, I need to put all of my focus on scoring these points because I can't score and play defense at the same time no more. But indeed, man, I'm telling you, I'ma stay tuned, and when the Blazers play against them niggas, oh, y'all gonna hear me talk my shit. We might mess around and sweep them niggas this year. But it's gonna be what it'll be. But I catch y'all in a minute for real this time, y'all. Y'all be easy.